Hello, everyone. Today's video is about how to, dissolve darkness and how to overcome darker forces. So when I was speaking about the darkness and Antichrist in that video, I was speaking about how people become prey to predators or the representatives of the darkness. But so the point of this video is, how do we protect ourselves from the darkness? And it seems to be easier than we imagine, but at that point when we are lured by the darkness, or we are mesmerized by the darkness, we have no such awareness. So the most important here is not to give your permission. When you stand your ground, you do not give permission. You do not give permission to affect your state of consciousness or your body. You do not allow thoughts and emotions to enter your physical space or spiritual space of consciousness. And even when you perceive some suggestions of thoughts, emotions arising because of those thoughts, you can always refocus and cultivate opposite sort of qualities within. Let's say if you're fearful, you can cultivate courage. If you are afraid to speak or to say something, you just overcome this within and you say, yeah, I have to speak for myself. So whatever you do it for yourself. Don't do it for anyone else. Do not give other people permission to affect your space of consciousness or to decide for you, because whenever you open to these kind of people, for whichever reason, you want their predictions, you want their insights or anything like that, yes, you can have some people's insights or opinions, but do not open your system to them unless you are sure that these people are of light and not of darkness. They're not going to take advantage of you or your vulnerabilities. It's very important to remember. And so you protect yourself always with awareness, and by keeping that statement in your awareness that you do not give permission to anyone to affect your space of consciousness, nor you choose to, entertain anyone's shadows or connect to people's spaces of consciousness. So if you, and the same principle applies, if you want to be treated well, treat other people well. So the same applies here, that if you don't want to be violated, if you don't want to be a victim of other people's competition or negativity, do not engage or talk about it, or if it's not possible, then establish proper boundaries, energetic boundaries. First of all, do not entertain similar frequency thoughts or similar frequency emotions. If you feel like other people are trying to overpower you or trying to force you into something, speak from the point, from the point of peace. Be grounded. Do not allow fear to veil you into submission, kind of, because usually people become victims of something or someone because they are pushed through fear or anxiety or some emotion or uncertainty into submitting their will. So be very aware of that, and do not allow this type of situations. Do not give permission to anyone to affect your space of consciousness or the way you think. And sometimes you can have thoughts based on corruption and all, but it is the light of your soul that has to be given sort of a green light to make these decisions, because you have to be able to discern. If you haven't developed discernment, you will be easily swayed away and fooled around, because people will push you over and take advantage because you haven't established yourself in the discernment. You can't say, or you can't tell what's good for you and what's bad. And so this is a vulnerable position. When you see that you're in that vulnerable position, make sure that you spend more time with yourself at peace, cultivating your inner light, so that you become clearer about your decisions or thoughts or ideas. Because very often we are victims of other people's thoughts, because these people have stronger charismas, or they're more narcissistic, they're more pushy. They bully us with their words, but more so with their shadows, with their thoughts, with their ideas. And you can see these scenarios when you are usually like in a family dynamic, and if one of your parents is stronger or more dominant, their thoughts and emotions will be almost bullying your personal space of consciousness. So create energetic barriers. Do not allow people to bully and push you energetically. You may allow them to express their point of view, but do not allow them to force you into submission energetically, because that's what usually happens. And that also happens when you're a part of certain cults or societies or communities where people constantly compete and dominate. And this happens behind the scenes. It's not direct. They energetically compete with each other by trying to bully each other's spaces, or trying to invade them for whichever reasons. But the ultimate reason is energy harnessing. So when you affirm it for yourself, to yourself, that you don't allow anyone's shadows or space of consciousness to affect yours, nor you allow anything to enter your body or space of consciousness, you create an energetic barrier. And the most important is, meanwhile, that you work on your shortcomings, on your weaknesses, on your darker spots within your soul, so that you won't have these hooks onto which the darkness can hook on and affect you from within. Because other people can lower your vibration by challenging you, but you allow yourself to go down with that anxiety, with that restlessness, with that insecurity when someone criticizes you or unhappy with you. We remember one thing: we can't control other people's emotions or reactions, but we can own what we feel, what we think, and we can go with it, and we can dissolve all that which we know doesn't belong to our soul. We can let it go. You can always let go and refocus and concentrate on higher spheres of consciousness. You can become aware of something of light nature, so that you can shift your focus from low vibrational thinking or feeling into a more high vibrational existence. So it's up to you. You have to learn to balance and align yourself. You have to learn to dissolve emotions and thoughts with higher contemplation, with spiritual absorption, or in other words, spontaneous meditations, when you just suddenly prioritize yourself. So then everything else becomes invalid and unimportant. And so you plunge into your own space. This way you protect yourself, because you instantly preserve energy and you don't have any space or room for any thoughts or emotions, neither yours nor anyone else's. So, and this is the way you protect your space and learn to sort of cultivate the will of your higher soul, higher being, rather than go along with corrupt wills, egotistical wills, or narcissistic wills of other people. Thank you very much. I hope it helped some of you. Be blessed, be protected.